Okay, thank you so much. Now I'm ready to introduce our speaker. Our speaker was born in Kawayan, Masbate, Philippines, but grew up in Cebu City. He earned his Bachelor of Elementary Education, major in English from the University of San Jose Recoletos, Cebu. He was a student leader in college and was voted into office for 2 terms. He completed his master's in English language teaching at Cebu Normal University and finished another master's degree in special education, majoring in mild and moderate disability at Southwestern University. As if those 2 master's degrees were not enough, he continued to pursue and recently completed another master's degree in education, specializing in curriculum and instruction with gifted and talented programs from Louisiana State University in Shreveport. He is service oriented, well traveled, and tireless. He is currently working on 2 certifications: National Board and Educational Leadership certifications. He hopes to become a school administrator one day. Ladies and gentlemen, to talk about G Suites galore, Google Forms, Google Docs, and Google Slides for online learning, please help me welcome our competent and excellent speaker, Tito Villosillo Jr.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tito. I do apologize for the technical problems that we have just experienced just a few minutes ago. I have just came in from New York just a few minutes ago, and then my computer decided to reboot. But anyhow, we are here, and so we are excited for you to be part of our webinar today. And so our title for our webinar is G Suites Galore, Google Forms, Google Docs, and Google Slides. And I'm very much sure that some of you are familiar already with this, the G Suites products. And I think some of you are already using this as you go through and transition yourselves into the distance learning as we open the school year there in the Philippines. And so without further ado, I have already pre-recorded my presentation for today. And so what I'm asking all of you is to pay attention to the details of the presentation, because it will help you navigate this G Suites products in a step-by-step process. And if you have any questions, you can write it down somewhere, or you can write it in our Google chat. And you can also write it somewhere in your paper, and during our question and answer, I would be very happy to accommodate and answer those questions. Are we ready? All right, so let me start by sharing my screen. Good morning, everybody. Hi, how are you? My name is Tito P. Villosillo Jr., and I will be your resource speaker for this morning about the G Suites Galore, Google Docs, Google Slides, and Google Forms. So I will be helping you guys navigate all of these G Suites products, and somehow, and hopefully, you will be able to use this in your e-learning lessons in the Philippines. And before I'm going to share with you my screen and my PowerPoint presentation, let me just explain to you guys that I'm going to be going back and forth and show you the step-by-step process of each of the functionalities of these products of the Google Suites. All right, so if you are ready with me, so let me share with you my screen. So this is my screen right here. So let me explain with you first the Google Classroom. Now, a lot of you are already here in the Google Classroom. So if you can see right here, all of you are already enrolled in here. And so what I did in order for you to be easy for you to navigate the Google Classroom, so I designed it according to topics, okay? So like for example, the video presentation will be here. This is an example of Google Docs YouTube tutorial. This is a Google Form YouTube tutorial, Google Slides YouTube tutorial. This is a sample of Google Docs. So all you have to do is click the link right here and it will bring you directly to the examples. Another one is the example of Google Forms. Again, there's are the links. This is also an example of Google Slides. We will have an activity for all of you if we will have the time today. Then I have, this is my Google slide presentation. You can access this as well because this can be found in the Google Classroom. And I have also announcement just a few minutes ago, and I said I can't wait to see all of you today. And then this is also an example of the Google's Suite sheet that you can have. And this is also the link of the Google a Zoom meeting today. And then there's also some additional resources for you about the Google Slides, Google Docs, and Google Form. And you can see all the topics right here. Now, as you create your own classrooms, you can design like this when it is just be very easy for you to navigate the classroom. And this is also the best way to organize your Google Classroom. Now, probably you're asking me, Tito, how I'm going to do that, like doing the topics and or organizing the topics. So all you have to do is you will go to classwork, and then you can see right here the plus sign, which is create. So click that one, and then it will give you some drop-down menus. So you have assignment, quiz, assignment questions, materials, reuse post, and there you are. You can see the topic. So like, for example, you will say, I'm going to add quiz. So, or evaluation. Okay, so you have already the title of the topic, and then all I have to do is add right there, and boom, you can see it right here. Okay, so I hope that and I'm sure that the other speakers have talked to you about the Google Classroom. So this is just an additional information for you guys as to how you can organize your Google Classroom. And I'm just explaining it to you how you can navigate all the information that I'm talking to you in the Google Classroom right here. Again, you have all access to all the information and materials that I'm talking to you about today. Everything is here in Google Classroom. All right? Okay, so let me go back and share with you my screen. So this is now the actual presentation. So as you can see, you have that disrupt maybe like a spreadsheets or a document or maybe like a survey. So the G Suites comprise of so many products. It could be a Gmail, which is your email account, Hangouts, calendar, and carrots for communication. You have the drive for storage. You have the docs, sheets, slides, keep forms, and others. Now, but we're not going to talk about that. We will just be focusing more on Google Docs, Google Forms, and Google Slides. Excuse me. Okay, so the first thing, let's dive into the main meat of our presentation today, which is the Google Docs. Now, probably so like, what is a Google Docs? Actually, a Google Docs is just like a new version of Word document. They're just the same. It's a new name, but there are just like some add-ons. So a Google Docs is a free web-based application in which documents and spreadsheets can be created, edited, and stored online. Now you can access this at anywhere because this is connected to the internet, to the web browser. So whether you are in other parts of the Philippines, or as long as you have your laptop with you or your computer, and then you have your internet connection, you can access this Google Drive. You don't have to bring your USB anymore. That was obsolete. But this one right here, you can access it at anywhere, at any device. It could be also your phone, or you could also be in a computer, or either like a tablet. All right. So let's talk about the uses and benefits of Google Docs. So the first thing is create and edit documents. Now, in the next slide, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process. Now, mind you guys that these products, I'm going to talk to you in just 45 minutes. Now, each product actually could consume like at least like an hour for each product, but then I'm going to fuse the three products in just 45 minutes. So what I have designed is I'm going to show you the basic, the very basic on how you can use it and start using these products that would help you in your distance learning in the Philippines. Okay, so next is work with team members simultaneously. So you can actually collaborate. I'm going to explain that to you later on. You can use it in all devices. Like I said, you can use it in phone, or you can use it in laptop, or you can use it in your tablet. Now, you can also see some of the changes. Like, for example, you do a collaboration. You share the document to the other teacher, and then you said like, oh, who made the changes? Oh, then you can trace it. It was teacher A who did the changes. And then now teacher B is mad because teacher A made some changes. Okay, so you can track the changes, okay? All right, now, this is autosave and storage. Now, in the past, the Word document, you have to, every time you have to do the save. Otherwise, oh my God, OMG, you are going to start it from scratch. But this time right here, it will automatically save it for you. You don't have to save it yourself. The computer or the Google Docs itself will save it every time you make some changes. They're going to save it for you. So you don't have to worry about, did I save it or not? No. No, ma'am. No, sir. Just kidding. All right, now share with anyone. Like I said, you can share it with anyone as long as you have the internet connection. You can also chat with the team members within the document. And then, I'm not showing. Okay, and then you can download in various formats. And then you can use it for free as well. So it is for free of charge, okay? All right, now, let's move on now to the very basic functionalities of Google Docs. Okay, so as you can see, this is the Google Docs homepage. Google Docs homepage. So what I did is I linked here the homepage. So this is, what I did is just like a snapshot of what was the homepage all about, but I'm going to bring you to the homepage itself. So boom, there you go. So in just one click, you'll be able to see the Google Docs homepage. So as you can see in here, you have also different templates. It could be for essay, or it could be for report, it could be for book report or class notes. So there are different kinds of templates in here. General templates. And then if you will go back, so let's say, for example, I'm going to start a new document. So all you have to do is click the plus sign right here. There you go. And then you can start creating now your documents, okay? Now, let's go back to my presentation. Okay, so we're done with the homepage. Let's move on. So these are now the basic functions of Google Docs. You ready? Okay, so I have here 5 basic functionalities. Now, if you can see right here, the Google Sheets, Google Docs sheet. You can actually access this when you go back to our Google Classroom. The title there is Google Suites Cheat Sheets, okay? The first part is creating a title. Now, you probably say, Tito, how can I create the title? Don't worry, I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, so in just a click of a button. So I'm already bringing you now to the new homepage. Now, as you can see right here, that is where you will write your title. So like, for example, you will create a title, let's say Google Docs sample. Or let's say, let me give you an example of a title. So it could be Romeo and Juliet. There you go. So that's how you can create your title. Very simple, okay? All right, now let's go to the next, which is the next part. So the next part is toolbars. Now, what are some of these toolbars? So the toolbars are right here. So if you will go down right here, these are some of your toolbars. You have file. Like I said, it's pretty much the same with the Word document. You can just browse right here. You can see some of the toolbars that you can use. Tools, add on, and then you have also right here the font, the number, the font size. You have also here your alignment. You can also use spacing. You can also do the bullets in here as well. And so these are some of the toolbars in Google Docs. Now, let me go back to my presentation. Please bear with me because, like I said, I will be going back and forth because I'm going to show you how you are going to use the basic functionalities of Google Docs. Okay, the next one is making a copy. All right, so I'm giving you an example of Google Docs that I made. So I'm also doing my master's in educational leadership, and I am organizing a book study with my classmates. And so we were actually doing that this week. We started this week, and then we'll finish by August 24th. Okay, so as you can see, there's already a title right here. Okay, now I have made already my Google documents. So like, for example, I want to make a copy of this. Okay. Now it is so important that you know how to make a copy, because what will happen is, for example, I've created this document and then you did not make a copy for yourself. So what will happen is you will make some changes in here, and then I will be able to find out that you did it. So in order for you to make your own copy, is very simple. You ready? Here we go. So we'll go to File. And then if you can, there's a drop down right there. You can see Make a Copy. So when you make a copy, click that one right here. So it will tell you a copy of Book Study ADL 716 AP2. Now the title is right there. That's the original title. But then when you make a new copy, that will tell you a copy. So I would suggest that would probably say, let's say your last name is Garcia. So I would say Garcia. It would be easy. Garcia Book Study Copy. Now this, and then you can see also the folder in here, if whether you want it to be saved in your Google Drive, if you wanted to save it in your computer, or you share it with, you can put it in the documents, share it with me. It's all up to you. But this time, let's say, Tito, I'm going to save it into my drive so I can access it at any time. All right, you can do it. So click My Drive, and then select, and then click OK. Then it will automatically go to your Google Drive. Okay, so you now have the copy right here. Garcia Book Study Copy. And so now you can make changes as many as you want. And then the main author or the main person who did this will not be able to see some of your changes anymore, because this is now your own copy, because you just make your own copy. Okay? And this is the original right here. And this is your own copy. Okay. Did you get that? Good. Show me a thumbs up if you understood. Let's move on. Okay, let's go back to my presentation. So next is, um, Tito, how am I going to download it? Well, very easy. So with a click right here, how to download, I'm going to show you now. Here we go. All right. So I'm giving you an example of my work, student work right here. And so I want to download it in a different format because right now this is a Google Docs, correct? So you will go back again to the file toolbar. There is a drop down right there. Now go down and then you can see right here, download. I don't like Google Docs. That's fine. It's okay. You can download it into a Microsoft Word because like, oh, Tito, I could get over with the Google Word or Microsoft Word or Word document. I'm going to save it in or download it into Microsoft Word. That's fine. That's okay. And then you can also do it like, oh, I like it to be in a PDF document. You can do that as well. Okay. And then there are some other options right here. Now, I would not suggest all of these because these are really, don't make your life so difficult. Just do what is easy for you, which is Word or PDF document. All right. So again, file, download. You can do Microsoft Word or you can do PDF document. Got it? Good. Let's move on to the next. Now, I'm trying not to move too fast and talk too fast because sometimes I talk very fast. Okay, let's move on. So which is the last one is like, okay, how am I going to share? How am I going to, did I talk about collaborate? No, I did not. I'm sorry. Okay, so how to collaborate. Okay, like for example, I'm going to share this with my others. Okay, so what I'm showing you this is an example of my students, an essay from my students. And so what I'm going to do is how we are going to collaborate, okay? Like for example, in here, so this is a 5-paragraph essay that I asked my students to write. And then for example, if I have a comment about the first paragraph, so what I do is highlight right here, and then there is the plus button right here, add comment. So I'm going to add right here. Where is your thesis statement? And then write the comment right there. And then the students will be able to make a comment right here as well. So by just doing reply, so you have to do is click, and then there's a reply. And then so on and so forth. That's how you collaborate with your students. So you don't have to see each other. All you have to do is, just do right here. And then the students will be able to see some of your questions or some of your comments or feedback based on his or her work. And so that's how you can collaborate it's either with the students or with another teacher. Okay? So that's how you can collaborate. Now, let's go back again to how am I going to share it? All right, so I have a way on how you can share it to somebody else. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Okay, so click right here, how to share. Okay, so this is actually a pamphlet that I have created in my class. So as you can see, Avid Largo High School flyers. It's a flyer. Now I want to share this to it's either students or I can share this to another teacher. So all I have to do is click right here, share, and then type the email address. So let's say, for example, oh, this is my principal right here. So I'm going to share that to her because this is the Avid Largo High School flyer that I have created. And so I want her to be impressed about my job. So I'm going to click her, boom, there. And then in here, you can see, do you want her to just look at the flyer? You can click viewer. Or do you want her to make a comment about the flyer? You can click right here too. Or you can also be, if you want her to edit for you, you can click it right here. Okay, and then you can also write messages right here. So as an example, you can say, please see the flyer. There you go. All right, and then you have to do is send. Or let's say, for example, you want to do it in a student. Let's say, or I have Miss Harlan right here as one of my coworkers. I want her to see what I have been doing as far as my flyer is concerned. And then all you have to do is send. Click send right here. Okay? All right, that's how you can share with your Google Docs document. Okay, so going back to my presentation right here. So this is also the link. Again, this is the Google Docs home screen. There you go. I'm trying to go back. And then there is also more features of Google Docs. So this is actually, when you click this one right here, it will bring you directly to a YouTube video on how you can, how to navigate Google Docs as well. Okay, there you go. All right, so I know there are some burning questions in your mind right now, like, oh, how to do this and do that. It's okay, you can put your questions in the chat box, and then we will take care of that later on during the Q&A portion. Okay, so let's move on to the next. So we just talked about the Google Docs. So now the next one is Google Forms. So as you can see, this is the icon of Google Forms. So what was the icon of Google Docs? It's a yellow. Google Form, in the other hand, it is a purple color right here. So Google Forms, it is a tool that allows collecting information from users via a personalized survey or a quiz. So you can create a survey, you can create a quiz, or you can create an evaluation, or just by gathering data or information. That's you can use Google Forms. Okay. Now in Google Forms, there are some of the uses and benefits. So the first one is create unlimited preforms with Google templates. So I'm going to click right here. All right, so these are different. This is now the Google Form homepage. So let's say, for example, I want to do a quiz. So this is now a template that you can use. I want to do an exit, a ticket, like after you have done a presentation or a class. So you just want to have like a informal evaluation from your students. So you can do an exit ticket right here. Or you can make an assessment, or you can use worksheets, or you can use an evaluation. So all you have to do is just click the template right here. It's all up to you. And there's another more in here, or it could be a party invite, or it could be an event registration. You can use Google Form. Let's say, like, for example, I'm going to use a new one. That's fine as well. And then this is how you will do it. Now I will help you in the next slides on how to create or how to use the basic functionalities of Google Form. Am I doing fast or just okay? All right, so I hope that I'm just talking in a very, not so fast pace. Okay, so next is the results are shareable. Now click that one right here. So all you have to do, these are some of the responses right here. And then you can share it with others. Okay, like for example, this is what I have created for my book study. So it is a final EDL 716 AP book study. And so I have some questions right here because I was asking them what particular book that we would like to. So see, I'm gathering the data here right here. So I'm asking them as to what particular book that we are going to do with the book study. And so I have presented for them 4 books. So what are required for them is to send their email write their email right here, and then write their name, and then all you have to do is click what particular book that you would like, and then send it to me. And then now I have my responses right here. Now, in your responses, there are also summary of the response. And you can also go by, I want to take a look at the questions. So I want to take by questions. There you go. Or you can want to see the responses individually. So you can click that one as well. Okay. Or you probably say like, I wanna see something. Well, what you can do is there is a green plus right here. It will create into a spreadsheet, just like an Excel. So when you click that one right there, it will give you, if you want to create a new spreadsheet or you want to create an existing spreadsheet. So let's say, I want to create a new spreadsheet. So you just click create. And then you can have right here open. And then you can see already here your spreadsheets. You have the date, the email address, their complete name, and their responses, what particular book they would like to read for the book study. So that's how you can share the results. Or you can do right here, you can get email notification, you can download the responses, or you can print the responses as well. So you have an options right here. So you can see these 3 dots right here. So these are some of your options that you can do. If you want to get like an email notification for the new responses, or you can download the responses, or you can print the responses as well. So that's how you will be able to share the information, or how you can gather the results, okay? I've already shown you how to get email notification in that form, but I'm going to show you that one more time. So when you want to see a email notification, it's just right there. Go back to the 3 dots right here, click, and then click that one right here. It will tell you get email notification. So every time your students will send you a response, you will get an email that's saying like, oh, Juan Garcia made a response to the survey that you have sent to the students. So you will see if that particular student already responded, okay? All right, now let's move on. Okay, so probably you'll say like, Google Forms can help teachers and students. Yes, they do. Okay, like for example, if you will click right here, oh, hold on. Galore cheat sheet. All right. So basic functions of Google Forms. So I'm going to show you the step-by-step process. Next is creating a title. How I'm going to create a title. So all you have to do is, so I'm bringing you now to the Google Forms screen or homepage. So you want to start a new one. So click right here, new, and then you can see here the title. Let's say, for example, you want to do a survey. Let's say field trip survey. So that's how you will create the title of your Google form. And then below, you can write also the description of what is this all about. Okay, you can explain it later on. Now, so this is how you will create your title of your form, and then you can do as well right here on the left side. So field trip survey. Now, probably thinking, how did that title appear just like that? Well, because I made a title right here. So whatever you will write in here, it will also appear in here. Or you can create another title in here. Okay. So let's say, for example, I wanted to do a field trip survey. Let's say I want to do English 9 field trip survey. There you go. And then, but the title is already right there. So that's how you will create the title of your Google form. Next is Toolbars. How I'm going to navigate the Google form. So it's right here. So some of the, this is the toolbars right here. This is different. So this one is when you add a question. This is when you import the questions from, it's either from the computer. This is adding a title and description. This is by adding image, and I'm going to explain that in the next slide, by adding video or by adding a section. So I'm just talking about what are some of the toolbars in here. So these are the toolbars. So if you will click right there, not really click, but if you will just move the cursor right there, and it will give you as to what was that all about. If you want to add a question, right there. If you want to import a question, right there. Add title, add image, add video, and add a section. Now, going back, don't worry because I'm going to go there one by one. Okay. Next is making a copy. How can you make a copy from a Google form? Okay, I'm going to click it right here. And now I'm going to bring you now to another example. Okay. So this is kind of different from Google Docs because all of the toolbars are in here, but the Google Forms, it's right here. And then this is over here as well. So let's say, I want this form. I want to copy this form. So all you have to do is click in here. Then you have the three dots in here. Click that one. And then you can see make a copy. So click that part. Okay. Now you can see, oh, it's copy of Largo High School Avid application, school year 2020 to 21. And then again, your last name is Garcia. So I want to do like this, Garcia. Then Largo, and then you can, then again, you will have an option as to where you want to save it. You want to save it into your drive, you want to save it into your desktop computer, or you want to save it into share with me folder, or you want to star it. It's all up to you. But you know what? Let me save that into my drive so I can access it anywhere. Okay, click that one right there and select, and then hit OK. Then it will bring you now to your Google Drive. It is now saved to your Google Drive. As you can see right here, that is now your copy. It says Garcia Largo High School Avid application. What happened to the original? The original is just right here. See? Title, Largo High School Avid, and then this is now your copy. It's very simple. That's how you do it. Now, probably later on you will say like, oh, I didn't get that. I didn't get what the way he did it. You know, well, just so you know that you will have an access to everything in Google Classroom, so you can go back and watch this video again. And then it will tell you how you're going to make a copy of the Google form. All right, now next would be how to collaborate. Click collaborate, how to collaborate. So, okay, so this is another example of a teacher recommendation. So when you want to collaborate with another teacher, maybe another teacher from another school, and then you want her to just look into your application, if that is okay. Before that, let me just go slide and see what was the form all about. So this is a teacher recommendation. Usually at the end of the year, we would recommend some students to be able to apply to the AVID program. By the way, maybe you're thinking, what is an AVID program? An AVID program is a program designed for high school students in preparation for college. Well, unfortunately, in the Philippines, we don't have that kind of program. But in here in the United States, students are being prepared when you go to college, because when you go to college, you have to make your own scheduling, you have to be more independent, all that kind of skills that they needed to acquire before they will go to college. And that is AVID all about. That's already a side information. But going back right here, if you can see right here, there is a 3 dots in here. So if you want to add as collaborator, so click that one right there and it will give you add collaborator. Click that one right there. And then it will say, oh, you know what? I want Mr. Simon, Mr. Miss Harlan Aquino. I want to add them. They're actually already as a part of the collaborator. Oh, let me see. I want my principal to be part of there. I want Miss Ingrid. And so I will just send a message. Please see the form. Right there. And then all you have to do is send. Okay, but I'm not going to send that today, but I'm just showing you how you can add collaborators. Okay? All right. Now, the next part is, which is how to share. Okay, it's the same thing on how you can share. Click right here. So this is another example of a Google form that I have created. So when you want to share it, so all you have to do is send. There's a click right here, or this is a button, send button right here. So click that one, and then you can actually share this in 3 forms. You could do via email. So by typing their email, let's say Ma'am Harlan Aquino. There you go. And then you can send. Oh, I don't want email. I want link. Okay, so this is now the link. So as you can see, this is a long link, but you can actually shorten it by clicking this box right here. Shorten the link. There you go. And all you have to do is copy and then share it. Maybe you want to send it to our email, share it to that person. Or the next one is you can also embed this form. And then all you have to do is copy and then share it that to the other person in the email. So again, you have the option on how you can share it through email, through link, or through by embedding it into, you could put that into your website. So that's how you can share your Google form. Okay. Now the next one is how to view results. Okay, so let me click that one right here. This is an example of the book study that I did. So I have shown you already. So these are now the questions that I have created for them. Okay, and then you want to see now their responses or the results of your survey. So all you have to do is click responses right here, and then like again, if you want to do a summary, you want to take a look at each questions, or you want to see individual responses. And then, do you remember what I told you about this right here? You can download the responses, or you can also print the responses. Okay. Are we good so far? Okay, I hope that I'm not talking too fast. Okay, so when you click right here, it will bring you to a YouTube tutorial that will talk more about the Google Forms. Okay, all you have to do is click, there you go, and then it will give you or bring you right away to the Google Forms, okay, tutorial. Okay. Probably like, it's a lot. It's okay. If you have some questions, please keep that in your mind, or maybe write it somewhere, and then you can ask questions later on when we do the open forum, okay? All right, let's move on to the next. Okay, this is Google Slides. Slide to the right, slide to the left, slide to the front. I'm just kidding. Okay, so in other words, Google Slide, this is actually a PowerPoint presentation. And they just want it to be fancy. They want it to be fancy and all that. So they created a new term, which is slides. Because usually when you do a PowerPoint presentation, it's like slides, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. That's why it says slides, Google Slides. Slide. We can, this is not my slide because this is the Google Classroom or the account for AFTA. So this is not mine. So this is an example of what a Google Slide homepage look like. Okay, let's move on to the next. There. Let's talk about the basic functions of Google Slides. Now, I want you to be very cautious and pay attention with the basic functionalities because it's a little bit different with the Google, with my PowerPoint presentation. But it's just very easy as well. Once you get it, it's just very easy for you to create one. Okay, again, this cheat sheet right here can be found in Google Classroom. Okay, the first one is change Google Slides themes. Now, remember, just like in Microsoft presentation or PowerPoint presentation, there are also different themes. Now, Google Slides has also that functionality or function. I hyperlinked it, so when I click it right here, it will bring you to the home page. Now, this is my home page now. This is not the after home page, my home page. You see that right here? PGCPS. That's my account, and that's my picture. I'm just kidding. Okay, so create a new presentation. So I'm going to show you how you can create a theme. All right, so this is now a blank page. Now, as you can see right here on the right side, you have themes in here. Tito, I don't want to complicate things. I just want to simple. Okay, that's fine. You want to be simple? It's right here. Click that one right there. Or I just want to have like a blank page or a dark page. Okay, right there. Click right here. So this is how you can create like templates. They're actually already embedded in the system. Or if you want to do, you want to import a new template, you can. So you have to do is click right here and then go where you want or where you save it. Or you can upload it probably in your file and then you can use that. So in other words, customize theme. So if you want to, I want to use all of these, like these are ugly themes. It's like, okay, this is just like, free for you to use, but if you want to use your own, you want to customize your own, yes, you can. All right. Sorry, I'm being very animated. I used to be an elementary teacher. I taught in San Jose Recoletos for 4 years as a third grade teacher. All right, that's a start information. So let's go back. So let's talk about add images. Ooh, this is so important. This is fun. So add images and background. So all you have to do is right here. Oh, no ma'am, we're not there yet. So add images and background. Okay. Tito, how am I going to do that? Okay. I'm done because I'm going to show it to you right now. Okay, here we go. So you can see right here, this is how you will create a title. Okay, like for example, this is Google Suite or Google Slides presentation. That's how you create a title. Boom. And then you have your toolbars in here, similar to Google Docs. Now, since you want to add an image, so all you have to do is go to Insert Toolbar. And then you can see image right here. So you can do add, upload it from the computer. So like for example, I have this image right here from my desktop. And then I'm going to upload that. Boom, there's the picture. Sorry about that. Okay, is there another way on how to upload and add an image? Yes, there is. Go back again to the Insert Toolbar. You click image. I want to do it, I want to search it from the web or from the internet. That's fine. All you have to do is right here. So when you click that one right here, search web right here. So let's say you want to do a dog. You're going to search a dog, and so it will bring you different kinds of dogs in here. Oh, I want to do this husky or Siberian dog. Then when you click that image, it will give you a prompt insert. And then it will also be in here. Oh, too big. And let me adjust it. There you go. Okay. Now another way is you wanna say, you can do it from your drive, Google Drive, you can get it from your photos, or you can get it by camera. Let's say, for example, I have some pictures in my Google Drive. Okay, let me go to Google Drive. I wanna do this right here, picture right here. Boom, that's the picture. There was a picture when I graduated my third master's in LSU with gifted and talented program as my concentration. Okay, so I just show you different ways on how you can insert image, upload from your computer, search from the web, or you can use it from your drive. Okay, it is all that simple. Okay, next. All right. Hi again, everyone. I understand that due to the time, so I need to stop my presentation. But then again, you don't have to worry. I'm going to create the AFTA will give you the access to this video presentation, and then you can go back again and you can watch it on your own time, on your own pace. This time, we will just wait for the signal coming from the AFTA Association as to when they're going to give you the access to this presentation and the materials that I have in the Google Classroom. Okay, so at this point, let me bring you back to our anchor and our co-hosts. And I think we will now be doing a question and answer based on this presentation that I have presented to you tonight.
Thank you very much, Tito. Let's give him a round of applause. A round of applause. Very dynamic speaker. So much to learn from him. And at this point, let me just call your attention to the evaluation link. It's on the chat box. And if you have a question, just unmute your mics and speak directly to your mic, or you can also type in the chat box. Thank you. So here's a question about what email address should we use for answering the evaluation form. It's your AFTA email. That's the Bedford Academy email. That's right, Sir Melvin?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions about Google Suites? The offline, there was a question about, can you work on your Google documents, Google Slides offline?
Based on my experience, I think you really need to have an internet connection in order for you to work with these products. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to work. So if you have the internet connection, then it's ready for you to work with whatever you want to work.
Thank you very much, Tito. Is there any other question? Speak directly to your mic. Our time is 10:50.
There was a question. I'm sorry, Miss Elma. There was a question earlier. It said how am I going to add my students in the Google Classroom? I hope that the other presenters talk to you about how to add those. But I would be very happy also to share with you as to how you can add those students. So the first one is you can, when you create your Google Classroom, you have your code. So all you have to, the first thing that you can do is share your code to your students. And so they are going to join your classroom by entering that code. Another thing that you can do is you will add your students, the email address of your students manually. So you are the one who will do it.
Thank you for that. Is there any follow-up question? We still have 10 minutes, right, Sir Melvin?
Yes, we have.
Yes, we do. So we have 10 more minutes. Okay. Google Classroom. Questions about Google Classroom. So one of the things that I'm learning right now is we do need the internet, the connection, for us to be able to work on our Google Docs and slides and everything else that Google Suites have to offer. I did Google search earlier about working offline, and I just copied and pasted the answer on the chat box. So one of the things that is also very useful is the knowledge that everything that you need to know, you can Google search it, right? And that's the reason why we have this word Google. You Google it. I-Google mo na lang. Hindi mo
Yeah,
alam ang answer ng
anything that
test.
you wanted
Yeah.
to know, anything that you wanted to know, everything is available as long as you have the internet connection. Any information that you want to know, you can Google it, you can search it, and you will be given a lot of information right before your very eyes.
Yes. It's all there on the internet. Somebody's asking for the evaluation link. Many are asking whether they could access the video recording.
Yes, like I said, the AFTA will give you the information as to when you can have that access to my video presentation. So in that way, you can review, you can go back, you can watch it at your own pace, at your own time. So just wait for that information that will be given to you by the AFTA organization.
Yep.
Thank
I would like
you.
to respond to that. Right after this meeting, this webinar is recorded, and it's recording right now. I'm actually recording it, and it's gonna convert it into .mov file. And once that's done, and it would take usually 10 or 20 minutes, I'm gonna upload it into the drive and then post it into Tito's classroom, so you can access it right away. Probably give me 30 minutes, and I'm gonna post it there into Tito's classroom, so you can go back and watch it. Okay. And the other thing also, there's a lot of questions about the email. So to access the evaluation, you have to use your Bedford account. But inside, in there, in the evaluation, for as long as you have your name, that's the most important part. If you are registered and we can recognize your name in there, the email address that you're going to provide inside the evaluation should not matter at this point, I should say. So for as long as we can recognize your name, because that's what we're going to look for when we create your certificates, if you have done your evaluations. Okay? So don't worry too much about the email inside the evaluation. To access the evaluation, you have to use your Bedford account. Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you, Sir Melvin. Here's a question asking for your opinion, Sir Tito. Is it okay if we use two platforms in school? Google Classroom for lower grades and Schoology, right, for senior high. What do you think, sir?
Yeah, it's all up to you. You can always you can use those applications, Google Apps. That would be very helpful for you, as long as it's applicable, or it could be manageable for the students. Then go ahead. I mean, our goal is to make our lives easier for us as teachers and easier for our students. As long as you can communicate with your students in those platforms, go ahead.
Any other questions? Thank you, Sir Tito.
Welcome.
What is the most challenging thing about Google Classroom?
One of the challenging thing about Google Classroom is probably what I can think of. Not really challenging, but it's just a matter of how you monitor. Because when you know the basic functionalities of Google Classroom, it's just very easy for you. Like, for example, when you post like announcements or tests, you can actually schedule them so that the students will not be able to answer them ahead of time. I think one of the challenges is inviting parents to join in the classroom. I think that's my own experience. Because some other parents, they don't care. But as long as your students are in your classroom, you'll be fine. But then, when you make some maybe parents-teacher conference, you can invite parents hey, I would like you to be part of our Google Classroom. So in that way, you will know what your child is doing in my class or in the Google Classroom.
Thank you. Somebody is asking about the Google code for the classroom of this session. Google code.
Let me go back. Let's move on to sorry. Creating a layout. Oh, let me go back to. I cannot access it. Let me. I forgot.
While we're waiting, yeah.
All right.
The
So
best-
while waiting for that Google code, do you have any other questions?
The best way to remove students who graduated already in Google Classroom together with a shared content. So removing of students from Google Classroom.
Okay, so there's another way that you can do. You can archive them. So in that way, like for example, if there are some complaints, maybe later on, you can still go back and access those information. But there's also another way of removing them. But I would suggest that you can archive them for maybe in a few months. So in that way, you still have that information just in case if there are some complaints or about grades or about submissions, things like that. But you can always remove students if they are not part in your classroom anymore.
Yeah, I think there is something you need to click beside the student's name, and then it says remove from Google Classroom. In relation to challenges, from my own experience, it's students chatting, students engaging in online conversation. So you can mute the students, right?
Like in the comments section.
Yeah, you can mute the students so they don't engage in those kinds of conversations. Sometimes they engage in online bullying. They say nasty words to each other on Google Classroom. They didn't realize that the teacher is there. Everybody can see what they're writing. So that could also be, thank you for that.
That is also one thing
question
that you need to be conscious about. It's all about how you set up your settings for your students. In that way, this kind of situation can be avoided, wherein they are making unnecessary comments to each other. So, or you can always give them a warning, if they are engaging into that kind of conversation, there will be a corresponding consequences for them.
Yep. So
and I think this.
Go ahead.
Could we have a final question?
Yes, we have a final question.
An assessment? Yeah. How do we create an assessment on Google Classroom?
What you can do is you can use the Google form in order to create an assessment. And then what you can do is you can upload it as a classwork in Google Classroom. I wish we have the time, but so I can show it to you how exactly to do it. So first is when you make an assignment, it could be a quiz, it could be an assessment, or it could be a survey. You have to go to Google Form first. And then once you are done, you can upload it into your Google Classroom. Because they are one product, and so they're connected to each other. I hope that I did answer your question.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was about to say that too. Thank you, Sir Tito. And if you are joining my session tomorrow, I'll be talking about additional apps outside of the Google Suites that you can use as quiz, as assessment tools. So if you are joining my session tomorrow, we're going to talk about other things that are very interactive and are very that can reach out a lot of kids too. Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. And at this point, it's 11:01. I have any last words, Sir Tito? And we're going to give it to Ma'am Elna for the closing.
Thank you guys for being with me today, this morning. I do apologize for the technicality problems that we experienced just a few minutes ago, but I'm so happy and I'm so glad that I was able to. I hope that you were able to learn something from my presentation today, and I wish you good luck in everything that you do, especially when you transition into the distance learning. And thank you so much for being so patient. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for your time, for being here, for the awesome presentation. Sir Tito, thank you so much for your expertise. We also thank you for the teamwork, the team behind this session. Sir Melvin, Emalu, Jojo is here. Thank you so much, guys. And just remember, before you leave the session, every technology we're using to teach our kids is an extension of ourselves. So think twice before choosing the technology. Make sure that it is the right one. Thank you so much. A big round of applause for everyone.
Have a great day, everyone.
And shake your hands. Have a great day.
Good day. Thank you so much. We're gonna see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm gonna have to close this session, and again, right after this, give me 30 minutes, and I'm gonna post it into like Tito's classroom so that you can watch it at your own time. Thank you. Bye bye. Maayong butag, Cebu. Magandang umaga po. Good evening, New York and the USA and Maryland. Sir Tito.
Oh, Maryland. Sir Tito, you're from Maryland?
Yeah, I just got back. I was there in New York for since Friday. And then I went home today, 4 o'clock. So I had a summer class from 8 to 3:30, and I have to rush the terminal because I have my trip coming back here in DC at 4 p.m. and I got in DC at 8:30, and I have to travel another 30 minutes to come back to my place. And I understand that we're supposed to start at 9:20, but then I turned off my computer, my desktop, when I left, and so when I turned it in, it took a lot of there was a lot of how do you call this, add-ons, or basically a reboot, and so it took forever to turn it on again. It's crazy, but at least we're able to make it. I was able to make it today. Oh my God.
Thank you. Things like
and I
that
was even
happen.
thinking, like, I cannot afford to have a session in the bus.
That would be a first.
Yep.
You could have done it. That would be a first. Okay, guys, everyone, maayong buntag sa tanan. Mamahaw na ta or maniud to na.
Oh, si Mamelma Bisaya, ako Bisaya.
Maniud to na, Bisaya ka. Ako. Maniud to na. Okay, guys.
Nag-participate.
Ha?
Sir Tito?
Sir.
Ako nag-classmate dire sir, nag-participate.
Yeah, si Michelle How Kaintik. We were classmates in Cebu Normal University.
Yes. Sige, thank you so much. Ako na save na ang recorded.
Daghang salamat, everyone. Daghang salamat, mga teachers. Maayong buntag ninyo diha tanan o maayong pagpaniod to.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Sa sunod na sad. Bye.